Good afternoon from Autumn. We always spoke, and I always gave the information about to be in Montenegro and what about to die in Montenegro. That is a part of life. Life is a part of that, unfortunately. I should take this video since a while, since June, but since July, I spent months to be able to save the baby, the cat. I couldn't anyway. End of May, one of my friends from Podgorica, she called me to give information. Another shared contact friend who lives by and between us, and she said she's in bar and her husband expired, and I couldn't understand expired. Expired. We use just official documents, credit cards, passports, and she said that. Okay, I wasn't know that it's possible to use this word for that. Anyway, she said, "Can you help go and help for the translations?" I told my Montenegrin is not enough, and I went to next door neighbor was still here, and I went to him and I explained the situation, and he said, "Just call." Normally he was cooking his dinner, and thankfully to my neighbor. And I called her, and she was terribly sorry. And she said, "Can you come?" And I looked my neighbor, and he, without no hesitation, he said, "We are coming." Super. Okay, we went to there. What you have to do in case of this and that at home, first of all, you must call police. And then you need to call, much more better, you need to call the embassy. The emergency, almost all countries has an emergency number for their embassy relations. Call them and give the information to them as if there's an emergency situation, you lost your beloved ones, family members, whatsoever. They they send someone for the translations and to witness something and defend you in case of requirement. With her case, she was a citizen of the South Africa, and the British United Kingdom was the responsible with the South African citizens here, and two of the officers from there came as sportive and as friend also. And normally we had two friends who can make my next door neighbor and another friend offer to make the translations by and between English and Montenegrin, but based on international regulations. If you are not able to speak the language of the official language of the country where you live, you must have an official translator. So the police called an official translator from Podgorica, and we wait for the translator, and they prepared the documents based on the translations of our friends. What you have to do, you must take that report from police. They take the body to do. I wish to open a bracelet here. Normally, I don't know the other for Catholics and for Protestants. I don't know, but with them in here actually, the officers from the cemetery, they ask for clothes. I thought maybe normally, as far as I know, they take to the let's say cemetery office or cemetery house. They take to prepare the body for the funeral. I thought they will take the clothes with. And my neighbor said that, "Please, can you turn?" And I said, no problem. I saw that bodies before. And he said, "Please turn. You don't have to look at." And I said, "No problem." He said, they will change the clothes. I couldn't understand. Seems as here, they are replacing the clothes in advance before the body gets swollen, actually. And I gave the clothes to them, and they changed the body. And they said that on which shape they want to have the hands, as this, or as this. But the problem is the body was a little bit cold, so they couldn't give the shape to the hands. Okay. What you have to do, you have to take the police report, which says that this is not something suspicious. It's a natural death. You have to take this report from police. Anyway, the police is calling the ambulance directly, and you need to go to the hospital to take that report from the hospital as of this something is not contagious, dangerous, or suspicious. Um, they are giving that report to you, and then you have to go to there's an inspection center in Podgorica. You have to go there to take a report which says that all is okay, it's not contagious, no danger for others, and the body can travel internationally. With the case of my friend, she was wishing to have this cremation. She said that he wants here, he wants there, and you cannot separate the body, but you can separate the ashes. And she decided to have a cremation, but in Montenegro there is no crematorium. Only in Belgrade, Serbia, and in Croatia they have. So they said that Serbia is much more easier and faster. They have queue, the more funerals in queue, and they said Serbia is faster. Okay, their our shared friend, he made the calls. Sorry, still I cannot clear my mind. I will. Okay. As a listing, I will make a listing. Take the report first. Any death at home, call the police. Police inform the other related parties such as ambulance for check and for pre-checking, pre-control, and the cemetery services. Go to police, take the death report, and with that report, go to the hospital to take the death report as of nothing contagious, nothing dangerous, and this is a natural death. And then you have to go to the inspection center as of there's nothing contagious and the body can travel internationally. And then you have to go to the country of the embassy of the country where you want to move the body. With our case, it was the Serbia embassy here in Podgorica, to be able to take the body to Belgrade and ashes back to Montenegro. But the case of my friend, she is South Africa citizen, which means she needs a visa to be able to go there. Normally there is an emergency visa, but Serbian embassy said that cremation is not an emergency situation, and they said in 3 to 5 business days they can issue, and make no sense to keep the body in a fridge for that. She gave the power of attorney to the authorities. Then they took the body for cremation, and then they brought back the ashes. So, but in between, I forgot to mention, normally the friend of my friend, he was managing the details of the funeral, cremation, and all others directly with the company's sector, actually. And it was costing around 3,500 euros for her, for everything including. And by the chance, we stopped by the Novgrad cemetery and spoken with the officers about it. And he said just a second, and he made a few calls, and then he said almost the half price. So as I mentioned before, relations is very, very important in Montenegro. In everywhere it's important, but in Montenegro, in Balkan countries, it's much more important. So hopefully you never experience this. You never lose your beloved ones, but in case if you have this experience, go to the cemetery or your embassy and ask for their help. If you try to make something directly, yes, still you can make it directly as you are, but it will take time, longer than expected. It will cost money, more than expected. At the end of the day, it's up to you. Hopefully you never experience this, but if you experience this, the procedures. See you. Bye-bye.